10-inch 78 RPM shellac record. Another bedtime story, Cind'rella, by the comedian or commedienne Wish Wynne.
This is the story of Cinderella, as told by a London slum child. What? You want another tale? Gone, I don't think. Here, Doris Jones, get off our stick. Go on. Shove off your own menagerie before I start on you. And as for you, Frida Evans, didn't I see you at the ice cream barrel yesterday with hot chestnuts? And never so much as give me half a blinking rotten one. Now you want a tale. Likely, ain't it? You go and get your tales at school, where you get your manners. Yes, and I know who's got peppermint rock under her over all this blessed minute. Think I ain't got no smeller, Effie Reader, do you? No, you ain't going to bite it off for me, neither. If I've got to tell you tales, I'm going to bite it off for myself. Give us hold of it. Well now, wait a minute, let me think. I know, I'll tell you about Cinderella. Well now, Cinderella was a girl about as big as me. Pretty she was, like me too. And she had two ugly cats as sisters, like I've got. And she had a stepmother, her own mother being took off with a dropsy. And the stepmother didn't like Cinderella. She liked the two ugly cats as sisters, being an ugly cat herself. So poor Cinderella had to wash up the pots and clean the house. Her father was always at the White Hart having one, and her mother was always having another. So poor Cinderella had an awful life of it. And the ugly cats and sisters were jealous of her because she had lovely long curls, like I'd have if the baby wasn't always pulling it out. And they was always calling her Cinders, because like that Polly Flinders I told you about, she was always sitting in them. Don't you pass rude remarks, Muriel Smith. Of course they heard her, but the stepmother wouldn't let her sit on a chair. Well, one day there was a Lord Mayor's dance at the town hall, and the stepmother and ugly cats and sisters went by underground, all swanked up with scarves over their heads, like you've seen the toss at South Kensington, and poor Cinders was left to do all the work. So there she sat by the fire that wasn't, because the coal man hadn't been, and she got so frightened being all alone, she kept hearing funny noises, and presently the clock struck 10:30, and all at once she heard a yowl outside. Then she heard a tapping, like Mother heard afore Uncle Percy died. Ooh, she come over all shivery. Then she got up and she opened the door and looked out, and who do you think was there? No, it wasn't Mother Hubbard's sloppy. It was an old woman with a stick in one hand and she didn't have a bottle of beer in the other either. It was past closing time. She had a white wrinkly face and a long black cloak, and she hopped straight into the room, and she said to Cinderella, "I am your fairy grandmother. What would you like best in all the world?"
Side 2, Cinderella, told by Wish Wynne, comedian.
Then Cinderella said, "What I'd like best in all the world is to go to the dance at the town hall. But Mother says I mustn't, and I ain't got any clothes anyway." Then the fairy ghost waved a stick, and Cinder's changed to a beautiful lady, like what you see in Harrod's store's window with a veil on her head and flowers on her chest. And her face all went clean without washing it. Then Cinderella said, "I can't go down the King's Road like this in these clothes. The girls won't arse-sling off at me." "Get a pumpkin and a mousetrap," said the grandmother's ghost. So Cinderella got 'em, and the ghosty fairy waved a stick, and the pumpkin turned into a lovely carriage, like the one we had when young Elfie died. There was 4 mice in the mousetrap, and they turned into 4 horses, with long tails like funeral horses. Then the fairy grandmother said, "Hop in the carriage and go to the dance, but be back home by 12 o'clock, or I'll have the clothes off your back, my lady." So Cinderella went to the dance, and the prince was there, and he danced with Cinderella, and they had their photos took for the daily papers, and the prince treated her to a small port, and they got that friendly they could have stopped there all night. Then just as the prince was telling Cinders what a nice girl she was, the clock started to strike 12. Cinderella jumped up, drunk up her port, ran right through the big room where all the people was dancing. She ran that fast that one of her shoes came off, and the prince ran after her, but he couldn't catch her, so he picked up her shoe and went back to the bar, and he felt so mad he couldn't dance anymore. When Cinders got home, she was all dressed in her old clothes, and she didn't half cop out because the supper wasn't ready. Next day it was in all the papers that the prince would marry the girl what could get the shoe on. And just as the stepmother was giving Cinderella a hiding for smashing her cup, who should come running in but the prince and Mr. Baldwin and the school board man. And the ugly cats of sisters tried on the shoe, but it wouldn't go on their little toes. But when Cinders tried it on, it fitted lovely. So the prince said, "Will you have me for your husband?" And Cinderella said, "Will I swim duck?" Then the prince gave Cinders a kiss, and Mr. Baldwin gave her a promise, and the school board man said her children don't never have to go to school. And then Cinderella told the newspaper man that the prince wasn't a bit like a prince, and he danced lovely. And then they had some more photos took for the Sunday papers this time. Next day they got married and went to Southend for their honeymoon, and when they come back, they lived happy ever after. Elsie! Elsie! Mummy didn't finish or I'll cut the legs from under you. You know that child hasn't had his food yet and the fire's out, so you wouldn't go down the street for me, and your father's dinner's not ready. Oh, all right. Can't go out to play for 5 minutes, but what you've got to come in and do something or other.